There we go. Folks, welcome week 14 of the Audible. As you can tell, I'm on my own today. Steve should be with us any moment. We're hoping he is going to be with us. But yeah, welcome to the Audible. Anyone this week who's watching, we'd love you on. So if you drop a comment, whether it be on Facebook or Facebook ideally, there's an open slot. Anyone is welcome on this week's show. So let's get to it. See if Steve's joined us. No, not yet. Okay. So, week 13, there was some absolutely brilliant, and I mean brilliant games, which we'll divulge you to in a bit. There was some shockers as well, and there were some things that we were expecting, but we'll go over that again, folks. Anyone is welcome to join this week's show. So I'm not a total loner, but we will go with the show as it is. So, yeah, it's getting to the nitty gritty part of the season. There are a few teams. You're not on your own, lad. Oh, are you coming on, mate? Same link as last time. Click that link, Russ. If you click that link, I'll get you on straight away, mate. And that last link I sent you, it'll bring you straight to it. All right, we got Coach Russ on. There we go. I'll do. I'll take that. But as we were, yeah, there was some shocking results and some predictable results, which we're going to go over. But there's some teams that, for me, people assume that they're going to be in the playoffs. You know, everyone's expecting the Chiefs to still somehow do it, and I've been saying for weeks they're not going to do it. But time will tell. Coach Russ, if you are joining on, mate, it's just the same link I sent you last time. Click on that, mate, and I'll get you added straight away if you are joining on. And we also, we do want people to jump on this week in, week out. So if your team is, if you want to jump on, whether you're involved in Brit Ball or not, whether that's adult, uni ball, ladies, any aspect of it, we'd love you on. It's a PG friendly show. I've had enough criticism from the other show for the swearing. So it is a PG friendly show, just to confirm that before any of you swearing lot jump on. Right, Coach Russ, if you do want to jump on, mate, click on that link. I will get you on straight away. But folks, let's go in to week 13. Can't mate, my son is downloading, I can't say that bit, on the computer, and my Wi-Fi can't go. Not a problem, mate. You can comment, and then I'll say how it is. So, week 13, we started off with the Lions and the Packers. It was Thanksgiving last week. I thought the Lions were going to do this, but as Steve calls them, the 8-0 Packers, they did the job. 31-24, still one score, so it was a really good game to watch. One score in the whole game. Anyone who's watching this, I'd like to know your thoughts. On any of these games, on things that you thought that were clinical, on part of it. But the Packers convincing win against a very good Lions team. I think in a lot of people's power rankings, the Packers are there. Again, folks, any questions, any comments, throw them in. We'll display them. But for me, they're just getting the business done, and they keep doing it every single week. Well, not every single week. They've obviously been beaten a few times, the Packers. But if you look at what Steve says, Steve's very confident that the Packers are going to do really well. Whereas I'm pretty much the opposite with it. Okay, let's go on to the next game. So the next game we are. Oh, FYI, 76% of the public backed the Packers. And it's saying that I backed the Packers as well, even though I'm pretty sure I didn't. But hey, so yeah, Packers won on that one. Next one. Them boys, the Cowboys versus the Chiefs. So 80% of the public backed the Chiefs. I don't know if anyone watched this game. I kind of feel like it was a game everyone had to watch. And Cowboys, they do magical things on Thanksgiving. But 31-28. And it wasn't that the Chiefs looked bad. For me, it looked like the Cowboys just turned up more than anything. I think what's letting the Chiefs down is the amount of injuries they had at the beginning of that, of that season. How many wide receivers they had injured. other bits like that. It's getting that lack of consistent. There's no consistency in their run this season, and I'm sure more than anyone that will be frustrating themselves. I'd like to know, obviously, if anyone's got any thoughts in it. What's the difference between the Chiefs this season and last season? For me, I think it's injuries. Um, and it kills me to say it as a Bronco, they've still got a great bunch of talent there. And it's not even like a little, wide receiver wise, they're fantastic. Even on the defense, they're not particularly that bad. But it's another week where they don't get a win. It's more pressure that's on them. But there's a few teams in that pressure point. And on that point, we're going to talk about the next result. So the next result next game was the Ravens against the Bengals. 100% of the public vote backed the Ravens to spank the Bengals, and all three of us did. And well, we were all wrong. The Bengals didn't win; they dominated, 32-14. Now, is every team entitled to a loss? Absolutely. Was that a game the Ravens could afford to lose? No, absolutely not. And it's kind of worrying because you want them to stay in a run. I still back them. United are better. I mean, Man United and Man United. I'm just gonna load that comment up right there. Sorry, how rude of me. I mean, that guy hasn't had his haircut for about a year and a half. I don't know if anyone's not seen that one. The guy won't get his haircut till Man United win. Nathan, there is an open invite for you to come along, mate. If you want to come along, join on. Just drop me a message and I'll post you the link, and you can jump on, mate. For anyone as well, there is an open link for anyone to jump on. Yeah, back to the Ravens. So I still fancy the Ravens to make the playoffs. They're a team I would not want to play in the playoffs, and I'm very thingy on that. They are absolutely a team I do not want to play in the playoffs. But what team do? What team do I support? I'm a Denver Bronco fan, mate. There you go. I'm a Denver Bronco fan for the round shape ball. I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. I'm not particularly great at the moment. But let's move on to the next result. And I'm sure Nathan's going to love talking about this one. So the next result, and I told you this was going to happen. I told you. I was adamant this was going to happen. The Eagles against the Bears. When the Eagles get beat, they don't react very well. And they did not react very well at all. The Bears won 24-15. No one was expecting it. Don't care what anyone says. Not a single person was expecting that result. Everything the Eagles threw at the Bears had an answer for. And do you know what? The Bears have been creeping up in the background a bit, in terms of no one's really been like putting respect on the name, because they didn't have the greatest of starts, if I remember rightly. But look at them, absolutely brilliant. Eagles, how are they going to react? I know they were top of Lee's power rankings. Lee can pick his power rankings however he wants. But for me, they're in the top 10, yes, absolutely, but they're not in the top 5. So when's that panic gonna sit in? It's an interesting one. But for the Bears, they've got pretty much one foot in the playoffs. They're looking like a team that you do not want to play against. The bit of consistency that they've had. Nah, because most Liverpool fans are all about past, not present. Okay, let's just display that comment. Yes, mate. Great. But yeah, 82% of the public backed the Eagles to win. I picked the Bears, and you. Lee and Steve backed the Eagles, and how silly they look. Maybe that's why they're not on, because they both had a shocker. Maybe. Right, on to the next result, which was the 50-50 one of the week, which was the Dolphins against the Saints. Let's be honest, both teams have looked absolutely horrendous. The Dolphins, they've had a few decent wins lately, and yeah, they got another one, 21-17. All three pundits backed the Dolphins, and we were right on that one. It was, I'll be honest, it wasn't a game I was particularly interested in. Um, you know, there's nothing major that you're expecting from either of the teams. But they got the win. That's all that matters. Up next for me, potential for game of the week. It was absolutely brilliant. The Colts played the Texans, and 67% of the public backed the Colts. Now, I went for the Texans on this one because defense wins games. Defense always, always, always wins games. And yeah, it was a close game, 20 points to 16. Lee and Steve sticking together here. They backed the Colts, and they were wrong. Do I think Colts can make playoffs? Yes. Do I think Texans have got a good chance? Absolutely, with their defense. Not that far off. But for Colts, it wasn't the best of days of the office. I'm surprised by the results. Absolutely not. Have we got any Colts fans? Have we got any Texan fans? We've got a Man United fan. I know that. But if anyone's got anything to say, by all means, folks, pop something on. Okay. After that, we had the Jets against the Falcons. Again, I think the problem with this week's fixtures is there's a few games I wasn't particularly interested in. Sorry, it's kickoff gone outside the house. But the Jets won 27-24. 64% of the public, myself and Steve, backed the Falcons to beat the Jets, and unfortunately, it didn't happen. The Jets, they've got, there's a few good wins. They're obviously going to have another good draft selection next season, but it'd be interesting to see how they finish the season, try and get some momentum into the off season. Again, a game I'm not particularly interested in, but good win for the Jets. After that, we had the Browns against the 49ers, and it was a pace them. 90% of the public backed the 49ers. The other 10% were on hard drugs, because you'd have to do that to pick the Browns, even if you support them. Yeah. 26-8. Poor. Very, very poor. 49ers, again, they're another team guilty for me of a lack of consistency in form. But no, wasn't good enough at all. It's going to be interesting to see how the Browns finish the season. Obviously, 49ers, can they get into the playoffs? We'll see. After that, we had the Panthers against the Rams. Now, 87% of the public backed the Rams. Lee backed the Rams. Steve backed the Rams. And Steve even give me grief for picking the Panthers, because I backed the Panthers because Panthers do crazy things against really good teams. And did they do something crazy? They got a win. Yes, they did something crazy. 31-28. Again, this was one of the two games that was potentially game of the week. It was absolutely brilliant. I don't know if anyone managed to watch it, but it was brilliant from the get-go. They were at each other, then it was the other way around. It was absolutely brilliant. 1 second. So after that, we had the Titans against the Jags. This was a horrendous game. Let me just check we got the right score there. Yeah. 2-6. Yeah, so we had the Jags against the Rams. I've got a feeling someone's typed a mistype of that score. Let me just check. Titans. Let's have a look. No, I was correct. Yeah. So the Tennessee Titans 1-11. That's so bad. They got beat by the Jags 25-3. But when you look at both teams' score records, Jags have got 8 wins, 4 losses. It kind of speaks sense. Yeah, Jags will be looking to have a very good run this season, you'd imagine, at the point that they are this season. Steve wanted to talk about who we thought were going to make the playoffs. And I am going to discuss what he's posted in there. But Jags would certainly be a team that I think are going to be there. Also, is the next team that won. All three pundits did back the Jags to win. So next up, we've got the Buccaneers against the Cardinals. The Buccaneers won 20 points to 17. 78% of the public backed the Buccaneers. I backed the Buccaneers. Lee backed the Buccaneers, and Steve, for some reason, backed the Cardinals. I think the Bucs are going to be good. I really, really do. They've been pretty much spot on all season. The odd blip here and there. But if you're a Bucs fan, you've got to be happy where your team is this season. You've got to be really, really happy. Yeah, I think they'll do very well. Do I think they're going to go all the way? No, I don't. I think there's much better teams, but I've been proven to be wrong every now and again. Next up was the Seattle Seahawks. Wow, pasting of the week, this one, and everyone knew it. 100% of the public, all three pundits backed the Seahawks to win, and they didn't just win; they slaughtered them. 26 points to 0. Crazy. I think the Seahawks could be really, really good. I couldn't tell you where I think they're going to finish this season. I don't know. I don't know where they're going to finish this season. But they're definitely going to make the bloody playoffs, unlike the Vikings. After that, we had the Steelers against the Bills. What has happened to the Steelers? 75% of the public, myself and Lee, backed the Bills, and the Bills absolutely passed them. 26 points to 7. I think the Steelers again are another one of them teams that are guilty of that lack of consistency, and that's what you want. As a fan, more than anything, you want them to be consistent. If you're bad, you're bad. If you're good, you're good. If you're a bit of both, it's terribly frustrating. It is. Bills make playoffs more than likely. Steelers, I don't think so. I think it's just getting worse. I'm not seeing anything for me to be like, oh no, they look good. So no, not the best. Then moving on to the next game was the Chargers against the Raiders. Now hang on, wait there, add to the stream. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. You've dragged me on here.
That's it.
I don't know how the internet's going to hold out, though. I might buffer a little bit every now and then.
I buffer all the time, mate. Don't worry. Let me just turn this to the side. 2 secs. There we go. Get rid of that. 1 minute, mate. There we go. Right. So, we're on the point of talking about the Chargers and Raiders. Okay. Now, I picked the Raiders because I wanted the Chargers to get beat. That was my process for it. Did you watch the Raiders and the Chargers?
I didn't catch this one. No, I didn't. Unfortunately,
mate, you know what? You didn't miss much. It was absolutely horrendous. It was horrendous.
I mean, are you surprised with that, with the Raiders at the moment?
No. Well, Chargers have a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
So my thought process was,
they had a chance.
Yeah, and it just looked like they can't be bothered. It looks like they've completely. And considering how big their fan base is, because like when I lived in Colorado, when I went to watch the Broncos had no chance of making the playoffs. The stadium was, if lucky, 3/5 full. Okay. But their stadiums still look pretty spot on. They're still getting great attendances, stuff like that. So you'd think there'd be a bit of fight for the fans. Honestly, that aspect of it just baffles me, because no, it's just still just as bad. But 90% of the public backed the Chargers. I backed the Raiders. The other two backed the Chargers. 31-14. Horrendous. Next up is my team. And what an absolute mental situation. I said last week, I wouldn't be surprised if we got beat, because for some reason, against poor teams, we're even more poor. Look at the Raiders game, the Snorefest. I still blame the wind. 90% of the public backed the Broncos. All three of us backed the Broncos. I'm pretty sure you'd have picked the Broncos as well. and we won in overtime, 27-26. Did you watch this? Did you see the highlights? Oh, mate.
I saw some of the highlights, mate. Yeah, yeah. These games are.
You'd have took the
I
draw.
mean, sorry.
Would you have gone, as a coach, right, your coach, are
Yeah.
you going for the 2 point or are you going for the draw?
Oh, you would go for the 2 points.
Against,
I
at the
mean,
time, against a 9-2 team, no.
yeah, but sometimes you've got to just throw the dice on things. In my opinion, I mean,
I like that. I like it.
I did it. I actually did it in one of our games this year, and it didn't come off for me very well or the team.
Oh, I
But
remember that.
you've,
Yeah.
hmm.
Yeah.
but you. I mean, there's certain things that happen as a coach where you think, no, well, we've got to throw the dice on this because of certain, you haven't got the right personnel or
Yeah.
confidence or whatever, and I still would have gone for it. Not that particular play,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have done something a little bit special.
Yeah.
Like scrape the bottom of the playbook and do something absolutely wild to get those 2 points.
Well, so, I mean, quite a lot of people know about it anyway. Because I'm trying to look at everything now from a kicking perspective because I'm practicing kicking. I'm practicing field goals, kicking. I was 22 stone. I'm, 17 stone, so just sub 17 stone now. I'm aiming by April to be like 15, 16 stone. So on that thing, I'm like, nah, I don't want to kick it. I'd be like, just kick it, go for the draw. But I get it. I get your roll of the dice thing. I'm made up. You've said that because if that happens again next season, and I hope it goes the right way. The first thing I will say if it does, I'll be like, roll of the dice, roll of the dice. Might get that on a shirt.
Roll the dice. Yeah.
Love it, mate. Love it. Right. Unfortunately, we've got to talk about this next one. 95% of the public backed the Patriots to beat the Giants. Myself and Steve backed the Giants because we both know the Patriots' little run of form is a bit of a miss-sell when you look at who they've played. But the Patriots won 33-15. I still think since that injury and that loss, you guys have just not been the same. But what's crazy is the amount of games you've lost in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. It's been absolutely ridiculous. I
Mental.
mean, some games were giving up like 20, 23 points in the fourth in the fourth quarter and things like that.
Yeah.
But you're going on about kickers. Did you see? Did you see
I
our
forgot about
kicker?
that. Oh, mate, don't because I went into work and then
Yeah.
one of my managers was like, "Is this what you've got to do?" And I'm like, "Don't, I don't want to see that clip because how's he done that?"
I don't know, but he blamed it on the ball was still moving and put him off. But if you actually look at it and look at the slow motions, there's so many memes about it. That ball was in the right position and everything.
Was that
I, I,
was that the same guy who missed all the kicks against us?
yes,
He's gone,
I
mate.
think it is.
He is gone at the end of the season.
Oh no, he's not. That kicker's already gone. He was a kicker that came in, and then he's done that. I mean, I'm 57 years of age, and I could still kick. At least I could kick the ball. It might not go through the post, but at least I could actually. My foot will actually touch the
Yeah,
football.
I mean, for me,
It's
so
embarrassing. It's
yeah.
embarrassing.
Well, for me, we've got a lot of rugby pitches near where I am, so I've bought the kick and tee. I bought like the little tripod thing, that holds the ball.
Hmm.
I've got a ball. I've got a new set of boots. And I'm just watching a ton of YouTube stuff. Obviously I'm just doing it to see what happens, but yeah, it's crazy. Like at no point in like any of them training videos has someone went, if you did this wrong, this is going to happen. I've never seen that happen before. And don't get me wrong, I've not been
It's,
following the NFL my whole life. I only got into it 9 years ago. I've watched it for about 15 years, but I proper got into it about 9 years ago. It's just mental that even happened. And if you're watching that, I don't even want to imagine how peeved off that would make you. Like,
I mean, the cameras were going. past the Giants players, Jackson Dart, and they were just shaking their head and turning away. They just couldn't believe it, you know.
What did you
But
see? What's the guy's name who got injured? Scatterboo.
Scaboo, yeah,
Yeah. Did you
Cam
see him?
Scaboo, yeah,
Did you see him in the WWE?
yeah, I did, yeah. He had a bit of a tear up, didn't he?
I don't mind anything like that because it's not bad press, it's not good press, but it's fun press. Anything.
Yeah.
But I've seen people moaning about he's injured, he should be recovering. Let him go and enjoy himself. He'll find a bit of himself back, and he'll be back quicker. Honestly.
Well, don't forget he's only a young lad, and he's still exploring the fames of being a professional, well paid player.
Yeah.
So he's young. I mean, he's doing loads of stuff on the internet and stuff. I just hope that he doesn't fall short or foul of what he's doing online because of the oldies not understanding about the younger players uh,
Mm.
today. But um, just going back to the Giants, there's I mean, they're putting up points. The Giants, they're putting up points week in, week out. The offensive line have been playing absolutely great. They're getting yardage. Jackson Dart came back in, um, took a few whacks, but like he said, it's just football. But our defense are just letting in just so many points late on in the game, um, and the organisation is in a complete mess. They're going to be there's cries out, and it has been for a while to sack the GM Shewan, and
And
it's just
if that did happen, you wouldn't be surprised. Like you wouldn't.
no, no. I mean, the since he's been in, I think there's a stat or something they've lost him as a GM. They've lost 35 games out of 45.
Yeah, that's not good enough. That's not
No,
good
over a
enough.
4 year period. So yeah, no, it's not. It's not good, mate. It's not good. But
I'll
anyway, I think you should move on, mate. I could talk all night about the
Yeah,
Giants, as you know.
right. I'm gonna come at you with a question now. Okay, Super Bowl final. Who's there?
Oh God, I think the Broncos.
Okay.
I think the Broncos, and I also think possibly the Bears because they're playing so well.
Oh,
There's something happened
something
with
special
the
going on
Bears at
there,
the
isn't there?
moment.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I, I agree. There's something special going on there. FYI,
there
folks,
is.
anyone listens to this, I'd love to know who you think is going to be in that Super Bowl. I really would love to think. I want to know who people think. I mean, I think the Broncos will be there. I do think the Bears have got a great chance. But I think it'll be between Eagles and Bears for me. Um, Eagles always find that run of form, you know, and although other teams might be playing better, it's a different kettle of fish when you get to that win or lose scenario in the Super Bowl. So
Yeah,
rolling the dice.
once the playoffs start kicking in, it's like Formula One. They charge up their batteries and they go full out.
Yeah,
And I think at the speed of the game and the hits and everything in the playoffs is almost a different game. You watch the whole season, then suddenly the playoffs come in, and then you're seeing these true professionals come to light. These
yeah.
true players come to light. So
No,
yeah,
I agree with you. What we're gonna do, I'm just gonna get up. Steez. So Steve has done NFL predictions. Okay. So Steve's playoff predictions. Let's go through this. Okay. So
yeah.
Steve thinks the Rams are going to qualify and they're going to win 13 and lose 4. Eagles are going to qualify, win 12 and lose 5. Buccaneers are going to qualify. He thinks 11 and 6. Bears 11 and 6. Seahawks 12 and 5. 49ers 11 and 6, and the Lions 11 and 6. Okay. I can see every team he's mentioned qualifying. 49ers might be a hit or miss just because they've been a bit inconsistent this season. But
Hmm.
most of it, I'm not going to, especially for me, the list is more, do I think they're going to qualify? Yeah, I'd agree with most of that. Then we get on to the next part. This is where it gets funny. He's not here to defend himself, so screw him. Steve thinks that the Patriots are only going to lose one more game. They're going to finish on 14-3. He thinks the Broncos are going to finish on 13-4, which I might agree with him on, because that last game of the season, if we won, we might just put out a second string squad to protect everyone, give everyone a rest week.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Texans 11-6. I like that shout because defense wins games. Texans have been brilliant. Ravens with a 9-8. That'll be interesting. The Bills 12-5. And get ready. I hope you're not going to fall over in laughter. he, he thinks the Chiefs are going to win 10-7. Not a
The
chance.
Chiefs, the Chiefs
They're
are
out.
the Chiefs aren't finishing games lately.
No.
They're not. They're not. They're playing. They play well,
Yes.
but
Yes.
they're playing okay. They're pretty well, but they're not finishing the games off. You know, I don't know if the referees are they're not paying the referees enough, or
Pay me instead.
whatever. But I had to say it. I had to say it.
No.
But
And
no, but things aren't going their way for the Chiefs at the moment.
I,
You
I,
know,
I,
and
I agree. I agree. 2 secs. I've just had an ex-Denver Broncos player message me. Not even lying. We are live now, mate. 7:30 till 8:30. Yes, there's a ex-Denver Broncos player coming on. I'm working on it. I'm working on it as we're live. And then he's got the Colts 10-7. I think it would be a dying shame for the Colts not to qualify. I think they've been brilliant all season. They've been lucky in a few games. Do I see them losing so many more games? No, I don't. It's an interesting one because there's so many what if buts and maybes at this point of the season. There's so many, you made that comment about the refs. Some people would say the same about the Eagles.
yes, yeah,
You know,
absolutely, yeah. Mm.
with how fortunate they've been with some bits and bobs. It's an interesting one, but you know what I think we do? I think we go on to week 14. So
Let's do
you know
that.
how this works, mate. I'll say the teams. I'll say who I think's win, or you says. We'll take it in turns. Okay. So Lions versus the Cowboys. That's on tonight. Now
I want to say the Cowboys.
I'm going to say the Cowboys. I
The
think they're
Lion,
going to.
the Lions are on a bit of decline at the moment, and then they're not finding a way to sort it out.
Correct. Do you think that
Uh,
the Cowboys can make the playoffs?
I, I hate to say this, I really do, because I'm not the
That's
biggest
why I'm asking it.
Cowboys fan. Yeah, thanks. They've got a chance, a good chance. They've got a good chance if they're playing, because they seem to come into form. I mean, a lot of these teams that come into form towards the tail end of the season is they're more likely to push through to the playoffs. So
Yeah,
I definitely, yeah, yes, okay, yeah, I think Cowboys will, yes.
I agree. Okay. Next up is a game that no one cares about. I don't care what anyone says. Fight me, disagree with me. The Browns against the Titans. I'm picking the Browns, but it's a game no one cares about. Unfortunately.
Uh, the Browns are due a win, aren't they?
Yeah.
But
I
I
mean,
say I'm going to say the Titans, mate. But the
the
Browns
reason
are due a win.
no, the reason I disagree with you is the Titans. Sorry, the Browns defense. You know, on the D line, they look pretty good. Obviously, the linebacker in favour on it. There's a few issues, but I think that D line, they'll turn up, they'll have their A game because they know it's a win that they can get. Next up, we've got the Falcons and the Seahawks. I'll be backing the Seahawks. They've just been that good this season. And the Falcons have been very hit and miss and a bit inconsistent. Who are you picking here, mate?
Yeah, Seahawks for me as well, mate.
After that, we've got the Jags against the Colts. Jags, obviously, I think they had a great win on the weekend. I've just talked about it a few minutes ago. But I'm going to be going for the Colts here. I think I fancy the Colts to come back with a lovely win. So yeah, I'm going for the Colts. What about yourself, mate?
I'm going for the Jags.
Oh, fight,
Reason
fight, fight.
reason is I think the Colts on a decline. I think they've been sussed out. I think their offense has been sussed out, and
I
I think
you might be right, mate. But do all the plays happen straight away? Do some people wait to the playoffs? Yes, they do. Might they bring them out a bit early? Only time will tell. But that is a great shout, mate. Next up, we got the Vikings and the Commanders. After what I've seen score wise there from the weekend, I'm going to be back in the Commanders here.
yeah,
They
me
look
too.
terrible,
The
Vikings, don't they?
Vikings, yeah, they had a reasonable start, and then they just can't find a way to win.
Execute. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Then we've got the Bills and the Bengals. I'm going to go to you for first on this one, mate. Bills or the
No,
Bengals?
definitely the Bills.
I'm going the Bengals.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because they've just had a brilliant win against a really good team. Yeah, they beat the Ravens very convincingly. They do. If
Uh,
they,
uh,
the thing is you never know what Bengals is going to turn up, and that's the most soul destroying thing. Most weeks it's we'll score more than you. Literally, we'll score more than you. But they've also been a team where they've a little bit of luck in the last few plays. That split against the Bears.
yeah, I know. But I think
But yeah,
if the Bengals wear their white Bengals kit, they're all white kit, which I absolutely love. Believe it or not, um, they might win. They
okay.
might.
The next game I think is going to be the pasting of the week. Murder, Sophie Alex Baxter, the murder on the dance floor. We've got the Buccaneers against the Saints.
Bucks.
Bucks. It's not even like it.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
I expect that to be 100% of the public vote to back the Bucks on that one. Next up is a very tasty game. You've got the Ravens against the Steelers potentially to seal that division. I'm going to back the Ravens because the Steelers just they're the worst thing. Not the worst thing. They're not. It's very. But the decline they've been on recently has just been absolutely horrendous. So I'm going to be going for the Ravens on that one.
I think you're right, but it's going to be a very close game. I think
Yeah,
this
I
one.
agree. Yeah,
But,
yeah.
it might even go into overtime.
Ooh,
This game.
ooh. We'll have
Yeah,
to say
if
that.
it's that close.
Next up, we've got the
let's
Jets
hope
and the
let's hope
Go on,
they've got a
mate.
good kicker.
Yeah,
Let's hope they've got a good kicker.
for fourth and out. Yeah. Um, Next up, we got the Jets and the Dolphins. I'm going to back the Jets here just simply because they've impressed me more than the Dolphins have the last few weeks.
Yeah, I watched them a little bit on some of the
All right,
highlights
maybe.
of the game, and they look very good. Their defense were absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. When they played the
So
Broncos in London, that was what impressed me the most about them was the defense.
yeah. Their win at the weekend was due to their defense. The
Mm.
pressure they put on the Colts was unbelievable.
Right. It's happening. We're talking about it. The next game. FYI, I'm watching this game of Hickories, and we've got our bad Christmas jumper night. I can't wait. That's for my team, who I'm not going to mention. But looking forward to this game. The Raiders against the Broncos. You're first, mate. Who are you picking?
Well, it'd be silly not to pick the Broncos, really. So it's a no-brainer, I think, on
Yeah,
this.
I'm going to go for the Raiders. Not
No-brainer.
really. Not
It's
really. No. Look, oh, it's just come up on my thing there. Broncos Raiders score predictions are in as well. So even they're talking about it. Right. Do you think the Broncos are going to win? Yes. Would it surprise me if we screwed up? Absolutely not. Um, Hopefully they don't underestimate them because I kind of feel like we did that with Washington on the weekend. If you get what I mean. But no, I'm be backing the Broncos to win. And I'll be watching that with a lovely, lovely pint. Next up, we've got the Cardinals against the Rams. I want to let you go first on this one, mate.
definitely the Rams on this. Um, you know, this. they still got one of the best offenses in the league, in my opinion.
I agree.
But yeah, the Cardinals, I don't think they're going to have enough to beat the Rams for sure.
I
But definitely
agree.
Rams.
I would love for the Cardinals to win. I love an underdog, but I'm going to be back in the Rams here. I feel like it'd be a good game though. I feel like it'd be a good game. This next game again could be game of the week. The Green Bay Packers against the Bears. You're up, mate. Wow.
Well, it's all who wins the fight outside the stadium and who wins the fight inside the stadium. So, um, uh, got to be game of the week. Got to be a
It has
great
to be, doesn't
game.
it?
Well, is it at Lambeau or is it Soldier Field?
It's our Packers. It's our Packers.
Is that Lambeau? Yeah, right. No, definitely the Bears, mate.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm backing the Bears. Like we've just been saying, they're clearly building something special. But I think it's gonna be a brilliant game. And I'll be enjoying this with my pint at the Hickory's. The Lancashire Buccaneers bad Christmas jumper day, and I've just mentioned my team, even though I've kind of promised myself I wouldn't. Ah well. Next up, I think this next game would be brilliant, and I think this is the game where Chiefs fans accept that the team is out of the playoffs. Chiefs against the Texans. The Texans will beat the Chiefs. I'm saying it now. I've been saying it all season. They're not gonna make the playoffs. And next week, you'll all see I'm right. What do you think, mate?
Yeah. What, especially what you were saying earlier on about the Texans' defense. I
Bacon.
don't think. Yeah, I don't. I don't think. I don't think that Casey's. I mean, Mahomes isn't playing very well at the moment. The timings are all off with his passing and stuff, and I think the Texans are going to take advantage of that on from their D. And I think it wouldn't surprise me if you see maybe one or two scores from the defense in this game.
Yeah,
So definitely Texans.
brilliant. Next up, Chargers and the Eagles. And I'm going to come out of it straight away and say Chargers. I'm just being that blunt. Chargers. Monday night football. Well, Tuesday morning football for us.
No,
Um,
I'm going to say the Eagles. I don't think the Chargers defense have got enough for the Eagles offense. I think the Eagles are going to put some points on them.
I'm not wearing your jersey if the Eagles win. By the way, not at all.
I
Not
haven't,
not
I haven't seen it. He hasn't given it back to me yet.
has he not?
No, no. I'm having to wear my college stuff now, and
No,
you know.
I've got me C. Do you know what? I've got a pair of CSU shorts. And when I say they're falling to bits, I'm careful where I wear them because I genuinely think they're just going to fall off me at this point. They're battered. I've got a few CSU tops as well.
Did you buy? Did you buy them out in the States? Did you
Yeah,
buy?
yeah, yeah. I was there
Yeah,
for I was there for a casino wedding in March, and
right.
I think I took about only a few $100, to gamble. You're at a casino, you're going to do it. I walked away with 2,500.
Nice,
So I bought myself a
nice.
few. I bought myself a few bits and bobs, but it was when I was fat. So next time I go over, I'll be buying less.
Exchange them for a smaller size.
Instead of super fat, I'll be slightly fat. So yeah, yeah. You're always slightly fat when you go over there because you just eat all the food that you shouldn't.
Uh,
How's your team getting on? Have you had any rookie days?
yes, we've had two very successful rookie days,
Okay,
and some really good potential players. Yeah, um, but the move to Shelford Rugby Club, we're starting on the 11th of January,
okay,
and we've got another rookie day on the 11th because we managed to get a little bit of sponsorship, only a little bit.
good.
Um, but part of the stipulation was to hold a rookie day for everybody. So, but the whole team's back pretty
What
much, apart from the university players. So,
what div are you
yeah,
guys in next season?
we're in the Prem.
Yeah, in the Premier League because you nearly went down, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the fate of my decision to go to throw the dice and lose by a point, and then but we had we beat the Hertfordshire Cheetahs on the head to head on our home game by 10 points.
What
So
what?
I
I know it's a bit early, but what's the plan for next season? What's the aim? Obviously, not get
What
relegated.
apart from win as many games as we can.
Yeah, no, but
No,
I seen Lee Miners did a really and I've got to love. I think there's like two Brit Ball teams I don't like. I pretty much like everyone else. But Lee Miners put up a post that in 2 years, I think it was 2 years' time, they aim to have a more wins to loss ratio, and I thought that was really good because if you're a smart player who's new to the sport, you're like, right, I could go join this team. This is their aim in 2 years' time. I know the first year it's not particularly going to be great because they're setting foundations up, but the second year, and we should be doing better. And I feel like that was great. If I'm being honest, so do you guys like? I mean, win as many games as possible. I get it. Playoffs, I get it. Win the division, I get it. But have you had that conversation? Am I maybe putting words into your mouth?
um, in not so many words. I mean, the coaches. We've had a bit of a chat and with our GM. The key thing for us is to start winning games again.
Yeah.
We had a poor season last season, lack of numbers, but those numbers are picking up. We've got pretty much everybody who was there last year returning. We've got about 15 rookies that are
Ooh.
signing up. And we've got a lot of transferees coming in from universities, a lot of university inquiries this year. So, you know, building the team up to decent numbers.
Yeah.
We want to have a winning season, um, but we have to be realistic on who we're playing in the Prem.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that we are going to go flat out on the field on every play. Coaching staff are building up. We're okay. We're in a better position
Do you know
now
what?
than we were last year.
I think coaching wise, I think a lot of clubs are still healing from COVID because the amount of people who got cushy with doing nothing on the Sunday rather than sitting in a cold field and getting battered. And if you're a coach sitting in a cold field and having players ignore you, because let's be honest, with the standard of I've seen just for every 10 nice people I meet in Brit Ball, there's one not so nice person. And they can be a nightmare to manage. They can be, the egos. I don't need a coach. I want coaching. I want coaching. Get a coach. No, I don't want coaching. That type of thought process. So I think there's people who during COVID when it all stopped went, I can't bother. I'm not doing it again. So it's yeah, coaches are hard to get. For anyone who's watching this who might be mean to a coach, don't do it. None of them get paid to do it. They don't get paid to deal with your crap, and they don't get paid to clean up your crap. So yeah, pack it in.
Well, if anybody's interested, Teo, like you say, coaches are hard. We're still advertising for coaches, so please get in touch with Cambridgeshire Cats if you fancy coaching in the Prem, and that'd be great. It'd be great to hear from you, even just to have a chat and see where you guys are at. That'd be good.
Yeah, I, I would absolutely endorse that statement. I think you're a great guy. I think you're very much the type of people that we need in Britball at the moment. But I would encourage, if you're not anywhere near Cambridgeshire, I would encourage you to join any local team. This is the main reason for me doing this podcast, for launching this podcast, was I wanted more NFL fans to follow this page and then realize, oh God, there's a team in my next town or something like that. I want more people to play what I deem to be the greatest sport in the world. And it is a sport that is amazing for people. It's amazing for people's mental health. Again, there's the 1 out of 10 that try and ruin it. We can name and shame them all day. We don't need to. They don't deserve our time. But you will literally go up and down the UK playing football with your mates, and the endorphins you get when you win, there's nothing better than it. Absolutely nothing better
Oh,
than it.
winning's fun, that's for
Oh,
sure.
mate, getting beat's not
But
great though.
I need to I need to let you know. I would say 30%, maybe 40% of our team are in the Cambridge area. The rest all travel in.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, to be fair, so like, I mean, we finished this, so we can do this now. My my nearest team would more likely be Chester Romans or Lee Miners. Then you could argue Merseyside Nighthawks, Manchester Titans, but I've gone for the Buccaneers. Now, I love what Lee Miners are doing. That they've had a previous guy. I got on with him really well. It just didn't appeal to me. And I seen what was going on Lancashire Buccaneers. There was a few at Chester Romans where I was like, nah, I'm okay. So I travel a good hour trip, and that's each way. So like, if I go midweek training, which predominantly a lot of mine is because I work a lot of Sundays. I'm not getting home till 10, quarter past 10 at night, but it's absolutely worth it. Like road trip, bit of music. I'm a bit of an 80s guy, me. But it's all worth it when we get. We had a great season last season. We felt, at the last hurdle, with Baffa letting Sheffield delay the game. We had loads of guys who had holidays. It was a nightmare. We ourselves most probably thought we had the game won, even though we hadn't. And Sheffield looked great compared to the footage that we eventually got. But for me, I'm looking forward to whatever the Buccaneers do this season, and I'm looking forward to what you guys do in this season. I really am. I think that'll be an
Well, we've made
interesting
a great
time.
start. We've made a great start. And like you're saying, it's when players turn up to a club, they want a great players experience.
Yeah,
And same with coaches, and the same with people coming to watch our games. Um, but this is the sole reason why we we're moving away from Coldham's Common, because it's a field in the middle of nowhere. We've got nothing to offer people. At Shelford Rugby Club, there's a bar there. There's food. There's everything that people want
yeah,
to have a good experience. So yeah, definitely more attractive, and it's literally um, 5 minutes off the M11 junction. Less than 5 minutes. It's not even going to the east side of Cambridge. It's on the west side of Cambridge, so it's nearer to people like Ipswich, North London, North East London. Myself in Hertfordshire, it's only 40-minute drive. It's nothing compared to when we were taking an extra 20 minutes to get to the other side of Cambridge. So no, it's going to be good for everybody, mate. And like I said, if anybody wants to come down, try out, um, just contact us. Coaches is a difficult thing. I've been on the phone for quite a few weeks now, ringing around coaches and stuff, and a lot of the coaches that have been around this game for a long time have started to leave the sport. So we're getting all these young coaches coming in, which isn't a bad thing. But a lot of them are coaching at universities at the moment, so
it's getting them
they're,
to
they're all
transition
committed.
over when it. Yeah,
That's correct. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, thank you very much, Coach Rush, for being an emergency guest. Steve, you're dead to me. Folks, that's been us at the Audible. I believe the link is getting posted up shortly. I'll be posting the results from that on Sunday. Get your picks in, lock in your fantasy football teams. It is that time of the week. I've been Matteo.
I'll be Russ.
There we go. Thank you very much, folks. You all have a great